Okay, we're gonna remove the distributor because it has a leaky O-ring right inside here. When you take out the distributor and put it back, it needs to go in the same position because it rotates to adjust the timing. And we just want to keep the timing the same. We just want to replace the O-ring to fix the leak right now. That's all we're trying to do. So I'm just gonna use paint. Maybe a brighter color would be better, but I'm just using some touch-up paint to mark it so I can see where it goes back, and then that'll make finishing up the job a little easier. So we're gonna take out the airbox first because actually that'll make it a little bit nicer, a little bit easier to get to the bolt on the back of the distributor, the back mounting bolt, because there's 3 of them. You got one on top, one in front, one in back. So with the airbox out of the way, it's gonna make it easy. So the first part that we're gonna do to get the airbox out is take out the 2 10mm mounting bolts. There's one in the front behind the headlight, and then there's one over on the opposite side. And we're gonna use a long extension. This is a 10-inch extension, 3/8, so it makes it real easy to get in there. It's actually a wobbler extension too, so it allows the socket to pivot a little bit and makes it easy because it's a little bit of an angle right here. Freed up. Now we gotta disconnect some things at the other end. So we gotta disconnect this vent pipe here. We're gonna disconnect this other, this is an evap tube, I believe, and then this connector. I'm just, to be safe, I don't want to yank on the wire, so I'm disconnecting the map sensor carefully. And then we need to get this Phillips screw that clamps the hose to the throttle body. We're going to loosen that. It's probably going to want to slide away from me, so I'm holding it from behind there. Want to get it pretty loose. And then this one slides out. Don't lose the clamp. And oh, one more thing. The throttle cable needs to pop out. And then it should be free. It's going to catch on a bunch of things. Just remove it carefully. Okay, so we're gonna remove our distributor here, and there's 3 12mm bolts, and there's one on top here. There's one down in the front here. You might have, it might be a little tricky getting the right extension to fit in here, so and you can also always use just a wrench. And then the third one in the back is pretty hard to see, if not impossible to see. So you gotta kind of feel your way in there. And there we go. Okay, before we actually take out the distributor, it's still held in with a bolt right now because I need to get these wires out. You push on a tab in the rear on the top to slide it off the bracket. And then you gotta squeeze the other tab that locks the 2 sections of harness together, or the 2 connectors here. It might actually help to have a big screwdriver. that one comes out a lot easier. Alright, so let's push the connectors aside. And then we'll take out the distributor, just set it out of the way. Okay, so we got a rag ready because as soon as you pop this distributor out, I'm just gonna wiggle it a little, pull it back, but oil's gonna start pouring out from the cylinder head. Not a whole lot, but it definitely make a mess, so I'm just gonna shove a rag in there to plug it up. That's a good oil. Okay, so now we're just gonna pull out the O-ring. This is the O-ring that seals the oil from leaking out of the head. Just use that little hook tool to get it out. It's probably gonna be hard and difficult, and of course this one broke, so there you go. Now that one's out. See, it's all hard, it's all stiff. Okay, so I actually am just getting a new O-ring out of a kit that came from our favorite store, the Great Harbor place. And but anyways, yeah, I'm just trying to find the closest ring here. The original one is all flattened. If anything, I'll go with the slightly smaller ring because a big one could bind up and get pinched, so I don't want that to happen. But this looks good here, so let's pop it in. Okay, so you know, when you're messing with the distributor and putting the O-ring, trying to get it on, you might find that the distributor shaft spins a little bit, but that's really not a big deal because this shaft will only go in, these teeth only line up one way because they're actually, if you look at it, they're not centered, they're set off to one side, so it's impossible to put it in wrong basically. And then just line up your mark, whatever you did. If you put a paint mark, a notch, whatever you did, or if you can't reset it to where it originally was, you're gonna have to redo the timing. Anyhow, let's put it back. Okay, so when we're putting the distributor back in, these prongs need to line up with the camshaft. If it's not wanting to go in, check and make sure those are lined up. And then with the new O-ring, it's gonna be tighter, so you have to wiggle it a little bit to get it in. There we go. Nice snug fit, so we're not gonna have oil leaking out anymore. Then just put in your 3 mounting bolts, tighten them down, and plug in the electrical connections, and we're done. Okay, so I painted the top area here just so I can see where it matches up, and then the distributor will be lined up with the correct timing. Now I'm just gonna tighten it down, and we're done. Alright, we're finishing off by putting the intake back. And just make sure you put everything back where it started. Plug in our map sensor. Pop in the evap hose. Put on the clamp for this vent pipe. Snap in the throttle cable. And then we're going to just tighten the bolts that hold the box in place. And then don't forget to tighten the clamp on the throttle pipe. And then you're done. good. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Feel free to leave comments and questions, and we'll do our best to get back to you. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook, Nuts About Bolts, and like this video.